So today I am in Noorderpark in Amsterdam, Netherlands, just north of the city. And I find myself, with another fork in the road of what to do with, life decisions. So it's essentially, I really want to keep traveling. This is my life's passion, and it's my goal before the age of 35 to travel every single country there is. But I do have this sort of opportunity to help out with a political campaign back home. I see that as, very important for the future of the USA, but also, the people I meet and networking are the type of people that I meet when I travel. So I do think it's worth it for me to go back and stay. But, it's really nice here in the Netherlands. People bike to work. They bike everywhere. The food here is really fresh. Their vacation laws are much more acceptable than the ones that we have back home. I have a degree in finance from the University of Georgia, but I didn't want to do anything corporate because really it was the vacation policies. That's kind of what I found the most unacceptable. 2 weeks out of the year at best if you're lucky. And to me, that's just, someone in my 20s, that's just not acceptable. So essentially I'm walking away from this life of just vagabond backpacker travel back to the States. And, I guess there is a path that's sort of kind of laid out there, but it's not as clear as one might think. Like the new sort of role that I'm going to be doing, there's no playbook that I can sort of, refer to. It's going to be just, learning through experience. Like my last job when I was working for a startup, as director of outreach and growth, it was all just, learning on the fly, baptism by fire. But, it's something I'm excited for. I think that's sort of a really good environment for me to be in. And I'm very happy when I talk to people, trying to rationalize the decision. I feel good that I am deciding to go back and do this because, traveling will always be there. I will always be able to just pack up and go, whenever. But I do think as a nation, we're in a very peculiar place. I think there's a lot of potential in our nation to sort of, lead the world again in ways that we need to lead the world. But, it's got to come from the ground up, and we, the people, have got to band together and do it. So that's kind of essentially the mantra that I have going forward. So, it really is tough that when we find ourselves in life, we are sort of have a fork in the road, and we have to choose between two decisions that may be both good decisions and have good outcomes. But, we are sort of troubled on which one to make. But, this is where I sort of remember how, a Buddhist monk once told me the path you choose will be the right path. So, just don't look back and keep going forward. And definitely, having the people around you to sort of help you make that decision and then help you with that decision once you're doing it is definitely very important. Also to find good mentors, And that's kind of still the path and the journey that I'm on, to really find the peer support group and mentors that can really help me do the things I want to do someday. Because, a lot of people tell me I have a lot of ideas and stuff, but I really do need to find something I can execute on and effectively, and also just, quickly, efficiently. But being away for, a good bit, it's only been about 2.5 weeks from the States, which is really not that long, has really kind of got me to see this time that people really do kind of want change. People aren't complacent, especially, people my age. We know how it is in other places in the world. We grew up being taught that America was the best country there ever was, that ever is. But, our infrastructure, our roads are crumbling, our healthcare is expensive, and, our public education system has sort of failed us and training us for the jobs of today and tomorrow. So I think, those are probably the three most important issues affecting our country today. And sort of, the movement that I'm sort of found myself in, we focus on that kind of stuff and just want to move America forward and those issues, amongst other more practical things that, will, I think, be moved forward in only a matter of time. So Richard Ojeda made it a point in his campaign to say that the reason why he fought in the Middle East was because he wanted the people over there to have just a small taste of the freedom and democracy that we have over here. But he came back home to his own state and found that there's a lot of poverty, very similar to a third world country with all the problems over there. So, and I'm the same way. When I first got back from my big Europe trip, I thought, wow, we don't have what they have over here in Western Northern Europe. So that's what I'm doing. I just want the people back home to be able to have the tiniest of tastes of what the people over here have in a country like the Netherlands. Because I do sort of struggle with anxiety sometimes, and I sort of feed off the energy of people around me. I don't really feel any sort of anxiety or depression from the general public and this the same levels as people do back home. I think it's this sort of weird image in society that people try to keep up back in the States, and it's very problematic and unsustainable. But over here, there's sort of a level of happiness that people have that sort of, you don't really find it, mostly throughout the United States. You may see it in places like California And if you're really wealthy and you can afford stuff, but overall, you know, it's just a different vibe and energy over here. And I really wish that, you know, I can bring this back over to the States and make it normal. So my flight to Atlanta back home is tomorrow morning. And you know, there's always a chance that I could just be like, you know, no, and not get on. But, you know, I do feel like it's the right move for me to come back and, you know, just work for my country one more time and really try to make a difference in a way that's much more bigger than myself or the people around me. So I'm very confident in this decision that I'm making, and I know the right people will sort of make themselves available and ready to collaborate with me and sort of my skill set and theirs as well, because I do think that when you have the right people working together for common interests and causes, you know, sky's the limit.